I chose to study in Morocco for the intensive language program because as a linguist, it was really important to me to experience a different language learning environment as well as learning languages that I just didn't have as much access to here.
The influence of how language and culture have mixed in those areas of the world were really surprising to me when I was there, and that's kind of what I wanted.
When you start, you have 2 weeks of just Moroccan Arabic is like your whole schedule. Living with Moroccans, studying with Moroccan teachers, I just got like a perspective into that language I could never have gotten anywhere else.
You are balancing about 3 to 4 languages on the daily basis of talking to someone. You kind of just gotta have the confidence to know that you can be wrong, which was a cool part. I really liked about the languages that it actually taught me how to speak Arabic. I don't really think I knew before that how to speak Arabic very well and kind of express myself. People in Morocco are very helpful in terms of correcting you, in terms of trying to understand you, because they're used to trying to understand everyone else in whatever language. Morocco is a very hands-on program. They really want you to take whatever class you have and be able to apply it. So a lot of times on the weekends we'd be on like a 4-day bus ride going into the mountains outside of Marrakesh and being able to apply actually the stuff that you learn in a gender class.
It wasn't necessarily read this article and do an analysis. It was, you've had this lived experience now, talk to other people about their lived experiences and now synthesize them to get this better understanding. I just had this really intense dive into this totally different culture and society from perspectives that were really cool.
The program itself is just American students, but as I said, we have a peer program, so there's Moroccan students from all the universities that always are in our study center, and you get to know them. They become your friends, they become your study partners. The volunteering and internship program with the Morocco program is an incredible, connection to have. I worked 3 times a week at a refugee and asylum center. We had English classes that we taught, art classes, photography classes. It was kind of up to what creativity we could come up with and make it an actual class.
I volunteered at a after-school program while I was in Morocco. It was called Dar Shabab, or the home of the youth. So it was an after-school program for kids that weren't in private schools, that weren't getting English education in their day-to-day atmosphere. So I went in once a week and I taught them English, and it was really fun. I got to make all my own curricula. I got to kind of sit down and use the French that I knew and the Darija that I knew, and it was a really great learning experience for me as well, because I got to kind of take what I had learned from my linguistic classes and really apply it. One of the things that attracted me to the program actually was the option to do a homestay, because I really was interested in just having everything I did be as immersive as possible. So I lived with a family in the Medina, the old part of the city, and they were so wonderful.
I stayed with a Moroccan family in a small suburb outside the capital. I loved that experience. They really take care of you. In Morocco, hospitality is a big, cultural value, and so for people to get to know who you are, but also have the pleasure to host you is a really nice thing to experience. Usually you have to commute, so one of the best ways that you can practice language is in the taxis. I know everyone says that, but the taxis are a great time.
I loved walking through, because I lived in the Medina and I had to go to the downtown every day for school. I got to walk through the market to and from every single day, and it was so bustling and wonderful, and it was felt like real Morocco. It wasn't just tourist Morocco. The support was amazing. The staff at the study center really felt like family. I never felt like I had no one I could talk to, whether it was about a current event that had happened, whether about something at home or something I missed that I was upset about. I always had someone to talk to, and they were always on top of it in terms of making us aware of what was happening. So if there was a protest in the city, we knew exactly what we had to do to keep ourselves safe and aware. And we always had kind of someone to lean on in those cases. The Moroccan concept of time is super different. So if you say, oh, we're gonna meet at 3 tomorrow, inshallah, you're not meeting tomorrow at 3. It was really good for me to experience that spontaneity, because I was a very planned, scheduled person, and I feel now I get a lot less stressed when something changes last minute, because I now kind of have this go with the flow mentality of it'll work out eventually, inshallah.